Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Digital Today's podcast. I am Dave, joined once again by my friends Joe Cards and Vinny Mancini. Guys, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Dan, nice to be back.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Looking forward to another fun chat, another fun show.
And Joe, you're back from the desert, right? You're back from the
Yeah, sunny
desert.
Florida. Back from sunny Florida. Got off that plane today. Was like, "Rrr."
You know, you're supposed to go down there at this time of the year, not come back this
Only
time of the year.
reason because of the holidays. But
Oh,
I'll be back down there right after New Year,
oh, I see. Okay,
and then I'll come back for Digital to DiceCon.
Nice
nice.
life, huh, Dave?
Yeah, I know, right? Best of
Yeah,
both worlds.
I put my time in.
You know, yeah, I don't know how people do it in the summer down there. We went down there in May one time, and forget it,
I,
forget it.
I'll tell you, I was down there. I was down there last June, from May to almost the first week of July. It was hot, but it was hotter up here. My
Yeah,
daughter was telling me it was hotter up here. Me, I'd rather be in heat because you can always cool down. When you're cold, you can't always get warm.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
okay.
true.
We'll leave it that way. Anyway, ways to get a hold of us. Digitaltodice.com is the website. Digitaltodice.com. 978-751-DICE is the text line. Digitaltodice@yahoo.com is the email. And over on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/digitaltodice. And if you'd like to be a Patreon and be one of our 3 stars of the week, patreon.com/digitaltodice. That helps support the show, and that'll keep us going here in year 7 in episode 288, if you can believe it. A couple of things before we get into what we're playing and then the topic of the day. And the topic of the day is going to be what makes or breaks a game. We're going to talk about some of the things that we have on our check boxes. And do we have anything that's a deal breaker in games? And we're going to bring up a situation where a brand new game comes out. What's on your list when someone says, I got a brand new game coming out? What needs to be on this list, and what could be a deal breaker if that comes out? And we'll talk about current games as well. First thing I want to get into is Digital to Dice Con 2026. We announced that last week on the show. So that is a go. You can now start getting the hotel rooms at the place, at the Hilton, if you want to. And again, that's going to be on Friday and Saturday. Was it May 15th and 16th? And Thursday is the early check-in. And I believe Thursday night we have the small room. Friday and Saturday from 9 to 9, we have the 2 big rooms that are combined. And I'm not sure what we got going on Sunday. It might just be the lobby, or maybe they'll let us use that little room again. But the early bird price of $75 is still going on right now. It'll go on through the end of the year. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole 3 or 4 days. However long you stay, that's the price. It's not per day. It's 75 on the early bird right through the whole Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as long as you stay. And after the first of the year or into February, it's going to bump up to the full price of $90. The other thing is only 75 tickets will be sold. And we already have over 25. I think it was approaching 30 at the last count. So, yeah, we've already sold a third of the tickets, and we're approaching, a little bit more than that. So you don't want to miss out. You want to get your tickets reserved now because space is limited this year. And let me see, a couple of the other things people were talking about, the hotel prices. Thursday's the cheapest night. Thursday is pretty cheap. It's not too bad. Friday's a little bit more expensive. Saturday night is the big one. But the good news is, if that's a concern for you, come up Thursday night and Friday night, and then go to the convention on Saturday and just don't stay. You can head home that night, or head out and find a cheaper place if you're driving. So, I mean, that doing it on Friday and Saturday this year really takes that Saturday night out of play for some people if they don't want to spend that money there. Also, if you're looking for a roommate, let us know or post on the Facebook group and see if we can team up a couple of people. If some people want to room together and cut that hotel cost in half, that's always an option. And, again, if you need to, look around Preston, Connecticut area and look for some B&Bs. Or is that what they are? BRBs or B&Bs? Or
Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
Airbnbs.
And
Okay.
people have to know that, right near a casino.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
you could walk to that casino.
It's right across the street. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Right
So
there. So
if anybody's ever had any experience it's like being near an airport. It's a convenient spot for a lot of things. Tons of places to eat.
Yep.
The hotel's right
It's
there.
close to Mystic, Connecticut. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's a couple of places. The aquarium at Mystic is really nice. So there are cheaper hotels in the area too, and some are only like 10 or 15 minutes away. So you don't have to stay there. And I know some people stayed at other hotels and drove up. Drove the 10 or 15 minutes and stayed
Yeah.
and for the day. So there are some options here. You don't have to stay at the hotel. You don't have to stay Saturday. There are all kinds of options if you want to look into it.
And,
Okay.
splitting the room, like you said earlier, Dave.
Yeah.
Let's face it. How much were you in the room last year? You went in and got a
Oh,
couple hours sleep. We're up at the crack of dawn. We're staying
Yeah.
late in the lobby.
yeah.
So splitting that room, it's
I
no big
used it
deal.
just to store all my stuff. I brought a ton of
Right.
games and some equipment, and I just stored it in the room, and then took it out when I needed to. And I went back and forth to the room several times just because I needed to for different things. But
Mhm.
if I didn't have to bring all that stuff, yeah, it wouldn't really matter where I stay because I'm at the place all day and then back to the room at night. So yeah, it kind of doesn't matter really where you stay sometimes on some of these things here.
Is
Um,
it true, the rumor that Mike Canestrari is going to take Borders in?
It's terrible. At least
Mike,
wait
when
till
you
he comes
listen
on.
in, just I know it's gonna. I couldn't resist.
well,
So
he's retired now, so he has the time now to cook it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could wait on that. He could put the SpongeBob outfit on to clean the house like a maid. He'll wait on you.
Oh, poor Michael. Yeah, as long as nobody sacrifice bunts. That's the only rule. You can't sacrifice bunts. So anyway, all right. So let me see. Why don't we get to what we're playing here? We'll do that real quick, and then we'll get into the topic of the day. We'll start with Vinny this time. Vin, what have you been playing?
Okay, still working on that Apple hockey game. But
Really?
yeah, just haven't had much time. I'm not gonna cry to the clouds. Is that what they were yelling? Oh, we were screaming at the clouds. Just been a couple of days with the weather. Just it beat me up. Yes, I am at that age when it's raining for a few days. It's like
It brings you down. Me and the wife were talking yesterday. She's like, I'm really kind of like tired today, and I'm not in a good
Yeah.
mood. And it's been cloudy and rainy for a couple of days. It's like, yeah, I'm with it. I'm with you.
But it physically, like I went out to play golf today just because I haven't been out and it was cold. But it physically just starts to wear on. Like I have whatever. It bothers my body, so I haven't gotten to that much. But then I also just bought the 2 new seasons that Grant put out. I think he had announced it too. 2008 and 2009 hockey season and 88, 89.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I am
Okay.
going to see if I can right the ship and have my Canadians beat the Flames in the Stanley Cup Finals when I print all that out. But
I put them on my Christmas list.
nice. My thought process, like of what I want to play and how much I've been able to play, has been a big difference. Kind of like my workout. It's like before I go to sleep, I would think about how much I'm going to work out. And then I do like 4 minutes of what I actually planned. So my gaming's been like that. But tomorrow, I am home all day until 3 o'clock. So I am going to do some hockey.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. I didn't realize that 88, 89 was out. I saw you said you bought it. It's like, I don't remember that being out. So I must have missed the, because I worked the last few days. I've just been going
Yeah.
crazy with
It
work.
just came out last night. As a matter of fact, I
Okay.
think I was going back and forth with Joe, and I said, let me order 08, 09, which is a really fantastic season in itself. I didn't realize it.
Tight
I always told
season.
Joe, I always told Joe that was like one of the seasons that I would just not be bothered with. And then I
Yeah.
look and you forget, man. You forget. The division, all the divisions were tight.
So much parity.
Yes. With some really good performances. Anyway, so when I ordered the 08, 09, and I seen 88, 89 on there. And I'm like, all right, let me click on it. Click. It wasn't up yet. My screen, I go back, my screen refreshes, it was up.
Oh, nice.
So I ended up ordering it. And, Grant, he gets stuff out pretty quick. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll be on my list again. I got to put that back on the table. I missed that so much. That 49 hockey game.
I think it's my favorite.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
My wife says, make work your favorite. No, that's from Elf.
Yeah.
Hockey's my favorite. Make work your favorite.
Joe, what have you been playing?
Guys, the other day I was on a play kick, play games kick. I played History Maker Golf over in a couple of days span. History, such a like when you put it on your
Fantastic.
table, you're like, why don't I put this out on my table?
I haven't
more?
played it in a
And-
while.
and
Yep.
I'm not a golfer. I played History Maker Baseball. I played a game of History Maker Baseball. I played my Hockey Blast Express. That's always out there. I played Highlight. I pulled out Highlight. I was just on
Wow.
I didn't want to do any projects. I was like, I want to play this. I want to have fun playing this. And it was just 2 days of just play games.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's pretty great. Let me see. I played a couple of games, or one game of the 1984 co-op baseball project that Kevin's running, and I had a fun game. I think it was Milwaukee Toronto, so that was a good time. And I'm setting up for Milwaukee Detroit, so I got a couple of Milwaukee games. That's why I got my Milwaukee hat on. So, boy, you know something? I've been playing a ton of APA Master Baseball. And I put the payoff pitch on the table, and it's like, man, that's such a good game still.
It really is.
Yeah.
My thing is that as I'm like a squirrel with the finding the new nut, or the kid with the keys. Oh, look, shiny keys. Every time I put a game on my table, that's my favorite game. Whatever's on my table, and it's like, oh man, I love this game. And then I put another game on the table. It's like, oh, I love this game. And that's my problem. Is just like I every time I put a game on the table, a different game on the table, it's like I just fall in love with it all over again.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed the payoff pitch. I was playing my 1976 Red Sox replay that I'm doing with payoff pitch, and I'm playing Texas with Gaylord Perry. And I opened the game, the Red Sox, with 3 straight doubles. And
Wow.
it was uncanny, the dice rolls coming up. It was just like double. And I think I put 5 runs up in the first inning. It was hilarious how that kind of worked out. But yeah, payoff pitch, I enjoy that a real lot. And I get my 75 cards in. And I've already cornered the Reds and the Red Sox. So when I get them on the table, I'll be having those go in there. Also, yes, so I have been playing some APA Baseball Master. I'm still practicing that a little bit, and I'm still making some mistakes, but I mean, I'm slowly getting it. And of course, I played a game the other night, and I decided to stream it. It's like, okay, I'll put this on and just have some people come in while I'm playing and learning it. And sometimes people help me with the game. And well, we went 13 innings or 14 innings.
Boy.
And I'm getting tired now because I'm looking at the timer and it's saying 2 hours, like an hour 50. This is for one game. And I'm like, I know I'm a slow player and I'm taking my time, learning the APA Master game, but holy cow, come on. It's just like, it got so bad that I think in the 12th inning, I started using the Ghost Runner. I did. And
That's it. I'm signing off. I'm done now.
I needed to get the game over because this was just my new 1981 set. I just picked a game.
Vinny, how do we say that's an infamia?
You're fired, bro.
It was not any project. It was not anything I kept stats on. I'm just still practicing. And if I was by myself, I would have just ended it. But because people are like, oh, we want to see who wins. I'm like,
tune in tomorrow.
Yeah, I did. I almost had to take a break and take a nap. And so I finally just got fed up and I just, okay, I'm going to do that. And just finally somebody scored a couple of runs and that was it. But holy cow. It seems like every time now I stream a baseball game, it's easily 12 innings, minimum 12 innings. Oh yeah. And Joe Costa says, I was getting a little testy. Yes, I never swore. But I was tired because it had been a long day, and I just wanted to play and get it done, enjoy the game, and at some point after like the 11th inning, I says, I'm not having fun. I just want this to be done, because I was just tired now. It's way too much, and it's all the time. I go to extra innings. I can't have a normal game anymore. I can't have a normal 17-0 game. I have to have everything be tied in the ninth. And
World's Worst Gamer actually had the right thing. You needed a rare play for a rainout.
Oh, call a rainout. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
You needed a rare play.
Joe Costa also asked, when we're doing the Black Friday show.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Black Friday show
22nd, I believe.
is, let me see, let me look at my calendar here. So Thanksgiving is on the 27th. So Black Friday is the 28th. So it will be, I think we said that Sunday the 23rd
Okay.
I
is
think
when
we
I,
did.
because I'm working that Saturday the 22nd, which I think we usually, but I think we always did it on a Sunday because Monday is when all the sales usually kick in, usually. That's like the first day of the sale. So some people go all week with that. So on Sunday, that's when we, we'll be getting in all the sales and what people are doing between now and then. And then on Sunday, we compile it all and just kind of rip through them all. So look for a Sunday the 23rd to be the day that we're going to record that and put that up there. So that's what we're looking to do. The stuff's trickling in this year. It's kind of weird. Last year, like boom, 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 but we got everything in right away. Now this year, it's been we've been kind of fighting to get into things. We're still going to have a lot on there, but it seemed like last year they kind of flowed in a little bit quicker, and this year, I don't know, people are still waiting to submit their
I think
sales.
Keith is doing a stream tomorrow night. Going to talk about some of the things.
Okay. Yeah,
but-
they do some weird things. I know
Yeah.
Strat does some weird things that, it's not, there's something we really can't announce. It's just kind of like, starting on this day, you go start checking this out.
But he did say he's going to give us something for the show also.
Okay, good. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Grant didn't announce what he's doing because he wants us to do that. He mentioned it during he's doing live stream lately.
Yes, I saw that Tuesday.
Yeah.
I
Good for him.
work Tuesday nights, but I usually catch the replay.
Yeah.
So the Black Friday show, I have that on my list to talk about so we just talked about it now. So we're looking at Sunday the 23rd. So again, get in if you're selling anything or you're having any kind of sale of any sort. This is the time to get it in. We'll announce it for free. We'll give it the website and what the details are. And again, people love this show, and Black Friday is usually a pretty good time for our community and our hobby. So, but I think that's about it. I'm still waiting. Everyone's getting their Fast Drive Football Fast Action cards set in from the Game Crafter. I have not yet, and it's already shipped, and they're telling me Saturday now. It's like it's going to take a week to get from the middle of the country to me. So I'm jealous now because I can't play that right now because I don't have it. And I was watching Al Wilson do a video on that, and I think that's going to be my go-to quicker play football game. Just the way that plays out, how fast it goes. I was talking to Marco last night, and he said he could do a game in like 7 to 10 minutes. And it's perfect because it's not like just rolling dice and getting final scores. The team qualities come into play, the different lengths of drives, rolling for kicks is in the game. So that's all stuff I really like. And it's all in there. It kind of, checks the boxes. I don't want to give anything away, but it does check some of the boxes there. And so looking forward to that coming in this weekend. Aside from that, I think we can go on to, if there's nothing else I really need to touch on. Let's see if there's any other news I need to talk about here. I'm looking around the room. I get my notes everywhere. No, I think that's it. I covered the digital to dice. Oh, if you're booking hotel rooms, if I didn't say it, you have to use the code DICE. DICE, because some people have been saying they're trying to book and they can't get through. You need to use the code DICE. You'll get the better hotel rooms at that, the better price for the hotel rooms at that price, and that will go through. So if you're not using the code DICE, you might be getting error messages. So I just want to point that out there.
So you did that, Mr. Cox?
It's all done, my friend. Use DICE, no problem. It was seamless. Did everything right online. Seamless.
Nice.
All righty. So let's get into our topic of the day. Let me hit the music. Here we go. All righty. What makes or breaks a game? And what are the deal breakers? So in this scenario, guys, what I'm going to do is throw out this game. There's a new game coming out. It's called Game XYZ. All righty. And it's been announced and it's been talked about. It'll be a sports game. For the purpose of this, it's a sports game. What are some of the things you need to see for you to want to play this brand new game XYZ? What are some of the boxes that you need to check? Okay, and I'll kick things off just to give this gives you an idea what I'm looking to go at in this direction. So what I just talked about with the fast drive football game, Al Wilson's game, is that you roll for your field goals and your extra points. To me, that's a box I like to have checked. Is when I'm playing a football game, I like to roll for my kicks. Okay. And that's the difference between game-winning drive and momentum football. Okay. Game-winning drive, the field goals, I'm pretty sure they're automatic. I think you still roll for the extra points, but in momentum football, it's a field goal attempt and you roll for the field goal. I like that compared to just, okay, here's the drive, it's a field goal, it's good.
Yeah.
I like to roll for all my kicks that are points, extra points and field goals. And there's just some excitement about that. And, again, all the big games, the APR and the season ticket and all those other football games that you do all that with that, it's not automatic. But there are some games that is kind of automatic that you get to 7 points and it's there. But I like to roll for kicks. So if this game was a football game, I would like a box to be checked that you have to roll for your kicks.
Okay. All right.
So that's one thing I like to see in my games.
Okay. And I see
good, man.
No, I'm just gonna add on. I could at first I'm like, that's crazy not to have that, but I understand why, because it's how the drive ended.
Mm-hmm.
So it ended in a touchdown.
A field goal. Yeah, ends in a field goal or a
field
touchdown.
goal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I can get that, but I would rather have the opportunities to kick too. So, but go ahead, Joe.
Me, I'm gonna go to hockey.
Yeah.
I like games where if the guy takes the shot and then you roll, it's a goal, which is just like a goal. I like 49 quick decks, hockey blast, the goalie and APA. The goalie, the guy gets the shot. Does the goalie have a chance to make a save or not? It's not just an automatic goal. So that's one of that checks a box for me if I see that in a game. If I was to pick up a game and say, okay, Vinny Mancini shoots and he scores.
I always did.
That to me, when you play your Montreals, that happened. I know.
No, when I played, I scored.
Yeah,
but that's what checks a box for me.
I like that too, because if not, then it doesn't matter who's in net.
Thank you.
Right.
It could be Ken Dryden or it could be,
Thank you.
Stumpy Joe, and you'd like to have, I like that too. Hockey Bones is the same thing. Is it in range? Is it on target?
Yes.
And if it is, now the goalie gets a chance to make that save. So, and Hockey Blast does it and 49 Hockey does it. And it's a two-step process, but it's a two-step play. It's the shooter and the goalie.
Right.
It really is.
And how many times you see a player get off a great shot and all of a sudden the goalie just makes a great save?
Yeah.
For me in hockey, that's the same thing. But there's a handful of things I could think of that it has. I don't like. People think matchup college football is a big footprint. I've seen big footprints. I think it's medium. It's not small by any means. I don't like a large footprint. I don't want to be reaching and stretching, and the large footprints for me are just they're a turnoff. I also don't mind with a lot of gamers today, and I get it. I don't mind if it doesn't have every player. If it has every player, that's a home run, but it doesn't need to.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think about that one. Yeah,
but a lot of people feel. Dave, you do. You love having your as played, but you also play games that don't. But I know you devour your as played stuff. You love that stuff. And
I
get it.
Yeah, it's a big checkbox for me, but it's not a deal breaker. Right. Depending on how many players are not included. So if you're playing, APA hockey doesn't have everyone. But the guys that played 1, 2, 3, 4 games they don't have. I can live with that if I like the game enough. Okay. Right. Hockey Bones has everyone. That's great. Not many games do have everyone. The 49 highlight hockey, Grant has everyone. He has them on the spreadsheet, and you can move him in and out. And that was a big deal for me because, when I got the game, I said, I want to get the spreadsheet. So I'm going to buy the spreadsheet because I want everyone and I want to put in guys for the one game if I have to. So that's a good one too, is every player, quote, carded?
Right.
So is a payoff pitch. I tend to gravitate towards the game that everybody's carded. That's for me.
Yeah.
That's a big checkbox for me. So if I get game A and game B, and game A cards everyone, and game B doesn't, I'm going to gravitate towards game A if both games are equal.
Right.
In my eyes.
Yep.
And I'm going to probably give game A more of a chance when I'm learning the game. And even if I get frustrated or I get stumped, because they card everybody, I want to make that work. And I want to make it work. Frustrated or I get stumped. Oh, what happened here?
I don't know. It kind of doubled.
Yeah, but
Sorry about that.
We like listening to Dave, so we can do it twice.
Twice is nice. So for me, if I have my choice, I definitely want everybody carded. It's not a deal breaker per se, but it is one of the bigger boxes. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up.
And I just think a lot of gamers out there do, because over the years I've seen more and more and more. And the old deal breaker used to be when Strat would give you 20 players. And it was impossible to do any type of replay because there were going to be a batch of guys that were going to have to be overplayed. So stuff like that. I know this sounds crazy coming from me, but also I don't care so much about the time, but I'm not looking for a 3-hour game.
I think you're right. I think time is there are some games that just take forever to play.
Yeah.
And
you know what it is too? If you're not, and Joe, we've discussed this, if you're not playing and the game's not moving, if I got to stop and I got to look at this and then I got to look at that. And I'm not talking the lack of learning the game.
Yeah. It's once you're into it. Yeah.
Once you're into the game.
I'm talking about games that even like the better minds, I am not one of them, can remember charts and stuff, and it's still constantly looking up.
Yeah,
that's just a turnoff for me.
There's been a couple games I've played in the past that I got through a period or through a half or through a quarter, whatever game I was playing. I was like, something, I'm kind of tired, and I think I'm going to put the game away because this is just taking me too long for what I want right now. And whether it's just me or whether it's the game, it was taking a little bit longer than I wanted. And so, if a game has got too many moving parts and it requires too many dice rolls or whatever it is, it can take a chunk of time. And even when you get good at the game, it's like, do I want to dedicate X amount of time to this game? I think that's too much when I could play another game a little quicker. And again, when you're having fun, it doesn't matter if it takes you 3 hours. I played a 3-hour Apple football game, and I've loved every minute of it. But there's some other times that, I don't really want to.
Because you're constantly playing when it's doing that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like a 3-hour game.
Yeah.
In reality, it might be. But it's playing and it's moving. So you're involved, you're invested in the game.
If it's unnecessary time, I think that's what.
But that's getting back to what you said, Vin, about matchup college football. Being a medium footprint. Now, you're looking here, you're looking offense, but it flows.
Yes.
It's not like you constantly, you are looking for results, but it flows. It flows. It keeps going. And I don't mind if that game takes me 3 days, or 2 days or a day, because you're enjoying it. But like you said, some of them where you just every play you gotta look at this chart and cross-reference this chart. Yeah, that's a no-no for me.
Yeah. So those are kind of, I'm not, and the other thing I feel is, again, coming from me, it doesn't, if the game is expensive, I'm talking really expensive. Everybody said matchup college football is, no, I'm going to break it down to how much time I'm playing that game. But I also don't have to invest $120 a season.
Yeah.
Because I play other games. I'm not going to invest $120 into a season when I can play another game that I really like, have the same season for $75, $60. And today with people, people are struggling, man. People are struggling, and I think they get turned off. People want PDFs mainly because this
Yeah.
printed stuff is so expensive.
Mhm.
You and me always spoke like with payoff pitch and bang shot. Yeah, well, you're never going to print the quality yourself of what Joe printed.
Right. So that's worth it. Yeah.
And I guarantee when he comes out with his other new printer,
He,
it's still going to be
I,
off
I
the
think
hook
he
and worth
did.
it.
I
I
think
think
he
he did.
actually
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. And
And it
the
wasn't
price,
that much. He didn't raise it. He didn't kill nobody.
not
He's
that
not
much.
trying to.
It's a few dollars more, and to
Yeah.
me, it's still worth it.
Yeah. It's still the best deal. Yeah. it
Joe's
is.
not the type. So stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can't think of much else that wouldn't.
Well, we'll talk about. I do want to break in here. Hockey Unreal, the guy that got me into Hockey Blast. We haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, and look why.
So
On the other side of the world.
So it looks like you moved, right? So I think you were near there, but I don't think you were in Seoul. So either you're on vacation, maybe you won a vacation on The Price is Right or something like that. But Hockey, we're good to see you. Hope things are going okay. Because we haven't talked in a while, and people are asking about you. And I said I haven't heard from you, and usually I'll contact you, but I haven't yet. But now that you've contacted us, hopefully things are okay. We're really hoping things. And I'm still playing Hockey Bones. Yes, I am. I'm still playing a lot of Hockey Bones. A lot of Hockey Bones. Getting back to the money thing, yeah, that seems to be that's one of the boxes there that you everyone has to check individually. And I mean, yeah, when I see a game and I see the cost of a game or a cost of a season or whatever it is, that it can be a concern. It really can. Because again, not everything can be as inexpensive as payoff pitch and get that deal, or some of the other games. Maybe some people put out a free game or something like that. But if like Dwayne Martz always plays his Zappa baseball. He doesn't have many seasons, but he's like, I've played these for so many hours. It's like pennies an hour for me to play this game now.
Right.
And I'm the same way. If I spend some money on a football season, I try to get 3 or 4 games in, and that's 12 hours. So what's that, $10 an hour? And I said, did I have $10 an hour worth of fun? And that doesn't include the unboxing. When you buy usually the more expensive games are the individual cards, because you're paying for all the cards.
Speaking of Dwayne.
Oh, yes, we were just talking about Dwayne.
Right on time.
So it looks like he got the wrong season of Appa in, so they're going to send him the correct season. So Dwayne, hopefully things go well with that, and you'll get your news.
Another one that could be a deal breaker for me that just came to mind based on what you were just saying, just popped in my head. I can hear you may tell me, or Vinny may tell me, this game is great. But if I go look, and they don't have many seasons for it,
Yeah,
and
that's.
I'd say, okay, maybe I'll give it a shot, or let me wait. And a month later, they still don't have many seasons.
Yeah,
that could be a deal breaker for me.
That's
if
a
a game's
turn-off.
expensive,
Especially if you really like the game.
yes.
Well, yes. So I have seasons written down too, and I have seasons under my deal breaker category. So if there's a game out there I haven't played, let's just say there's a baseball game I haven't played, or a hockey game I haven't played, and I look at it, and there are some hockey games I haven't played, if you can believe it, and I'll go and I'll look at these games, and I'll look at the seasons they have, and they'll have 4 seasons. And this game's been out for a long time. And again, I don't design games. I don't know what it takes. I don't know what it takes to make a season, how long that takes.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm trying to be fair about all that.
Right,
So I don't know
right.
what it takes. But as the consumer, I look at this game, and like Vinny just said, what if I get this game and this is the best hockey game I've ever played? And now he has 4 seasons, maybe 2 of them I would play. Maybe he's got one from the 70s I would play, and then the rest are all from the 2018 and seasons I just would never play. So I don't want to get this game and play it and fall in love with it and only have the one season to play.
Yeah, because how many times can you replay a season?
Well, Going back on what you said, getting pennies on the dollar, you vest. How about a game comes out and it costs you $100, to buy the game, and like you said, he's got 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, how many times are you gonna replay it? So you ain't gonna get your money's worth. To me, that's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, seasons are a big deal. In fact, when I started playing Strat hockey first, and I liked it. They didn't have any seasons, and the ones they did, they only gave us 6 teams, and you had to print the rest.
Yeah,
So I did that for a couple of seasons, and I was like, oh man, this is a lot of work.
Yep.
And I ended up buying some seasons on the black market, so I got a couple seasons I liked, and then I discovered Appa Hockey, and I went to their website. And they had pretty much
every season,
everything from the 50s to modern day. And I says, if I can get this game to work, I will have, the access to anybody I want to play, any team I want to play.
It's a great game.
And so when I got it and I started playing it, it moved along, and I struggled a bit. And I said, no, I really want to make this work, because if this works, they have every season.
Yeah.
And to now look at me now. So that was a big deal for me, seasons. And somebody like Grant, who's a small guy here. I mean, small, in the scheme of things, and he makes his seasons when he can, and he's got a couple different games.
Decent amount of seasons.
He's still got a decent amount. Yeah. If he had 2 seasons, I would probably still play the game.
It's such a good game, and it's not expensive. It's not an expensive game to buy.
But it's like, it would be like, man, I really need to get more seasons out of this.
Yeah,
so
it won't hold up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It won't have the legs, because again, at some point you're going to get tired of playing that season, and I'm gonna want to play another season, so I'm gonna have to dig out another game to play it, and then maybe that game doesn't come back on the table ever again because it just doesn't have enough seasons.
Right.
There is one baseball game, I won't mention it, but there's one baseball game that I played that I really like. It wasn't very expensive, and I think it was just PDF only. And I really, really liked this game. I was like, wow, it was very similar to Pocket Pennant Run. That's kind of how I look at it. And it was very fun, but they literally had 1 season.
Oh, wow.
In my wheelhouse that I would consider playing. And I was like, well, as much as I like the game, I'm only going to play this 1 season. And it wasn't even
how many overall seasons do you remember?
A lot of this game was the best of. It was like,
that's not for everybody. I don't mind it. But
teams, great teams of the past, and best of the Yankees and best of the Cardinals or whatever it was. Yeah. And it was really designed to play the best against the best. It really wasn't designed for a full season replay, even though that's what I play and I liked it. And it's too bad because I haven't gone back to that game in years because it's like, I don't really want to go and just play that 1 season.
Mm-hmm.
So seasons, yeah. Excuse me.
So what I don't understand either, and you might agree, is why does John Doe start creating a game, especially if he gets good feedback, and doesn't want to, or if they don't want to put out more seasons, I can't understand it. If they can't for life reasons or whatever, then that you got to, okay, thank you, it was a good effort. But if they're there and they're still doing what, I'll jump to another game.
You just took the words out of my mouth, Vinny.
I mean, I'm sorry, you're not committed. You just want to show people that you can keep creating games.
And it is kind of a bummer because the amount of time that person put into the game, and next thing you know, boy, he's got a hit in his hands, and people really like it. And then it's like, geez, I just don't have the time to make the seasons, and I'm not going to make enough money on these seasons anyway. Sometimes I hear that it's not worth the money, the time to do it. Then you're so now you got this great game that no one's going to play because people like to play more than that 1 season or 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And again, I don't make games a season, so I don't want to dump on somebody that does. But yeah, that's the one thing I noticed about, if you notice, like any of the new games that have come out over the last few years, and if you've talked to any of the people that have made these games, what's the first thing that happens? They come out with the game. Oh, this is great. When are you going to make this season? When are you going to make? And they get flooded with people that are making seasons. I remember when Al Wilson first put out his Fast Drive Football. Okay, he was getting flooded with people. This is a great game. When are you going to do this? And when are you going to come up with the finders? And when are you going to do this? He was getting pelted by people with ideas for the game and seasons to create. And can you create the WFL? And poor Al just put out this game. It was free at the time.
Right.
It was a real fun game. And he just did this, and he was getting nailed. And finally, I was like, guys, let Al breathe a little bit. He just spent all this time in this game. He put it out for free, and let's just enjoy it what it is, not what it should be.
Right. And when you do something like that and you're for free, sorry, you're not owed anything from that designer.
Yeah.
That's
Nothing.
correct.
Nothing.
That's correct. Listen, I wouldn't attempt. I give even the guy who doesn't make the greatest game, I give them a lot of credit.
Yeah.
To go out there and try to design a game and do all that work. I give everyone a lot of credit.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, being personally close to a few guys, I don't know the numbers, how they go about putting them in, but I sure know the time it takes them. Because listen, if they could snap their fingers or they owned a bunch of Oompa Loompas,
We'd all be doing it.
they would put them out.
Yeah.
They would do it.
Yeah.
I know for a fact if Grant or ST could put these seasons out faster, yeah, he would. They would, both of them.
I've been guilty with ST and saying, when you're coming out with this guy, this college, man, and he tells me he gets bombarded. And he'd love to. He says, I'd love to come out with every college that there is.
Yeah,
but
because his mission is to literally have every college team done. That's I won't outlive that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, if ST could just snap his fingers.
Yeah.
But it's also not the only thing he does.
Yeah.
No.
But as long as you come up with a new season every now and then to show that you're still supporting the game and that you're still doing it, that it doesn't have to be every week or every month. But I mean, when you don't hear from somebody for a year, that's a little concerning. It really is. It's like, oh boy, so you've done nothing in a year,
right?
Like John Turnbull, his games. I love how he put out a bunch of seasons when his games come out, and then he's slowly been adding to it.
Right.
All his games, he's slowly adding. In fact, Doug over here saying he was just playing some red ice hockey, and he's been playing some 86, 87. Cam Neely hat trick. Thank you very much. But he's another guy. It's like every time you turn around, it's like, hey, I just put out a new basketball season. Hey, I got a new football season. Hey, I got a new hockey season. And it's that's great to see. Because and then some people will request this season. Hey, what about this one here? And if it's not too much of a big deal, depending on the game and how it's done in the season, sometimes older season with less teams, obviously going to be a lot easier. And then they put them out.
I think what I like what John Turnbull does?
Go ahead.
He puts polls out.
Yeah.
You ever notice he puts polls out and he'll give put 4 or 5 seasons up there. And
ST does game his requests too.
Yeah, I like that.
John, I think, is the victim of this more than anybody out there. I just released this season, that season, and that season. Yeah, but when are you going to do
that? I feel so bad for some of these guys. It's just, hey, we just did this. That's great.
And like he's got nothing else in life going. Every one of them have life going on too. People have to understand it.
And guys like him, like you're saying, and ST, they check the box for me.
Yeah.
Because they're always working at giving us something else.
And listen, me and ST have had many conversations. If the roles were reversed, I'd have no customers left because I'd want to choke half of them. Because it's just, you don't abuse guys. Don't
Vinny, imagine a guy like Keith that he does all different sports, non-sports. He must
ST put up with a lot though, because he does 11 team sets. But I'm only playing matchup college football since February. I believe this year he put out, don't quote me, 11 sets this year alone. I own them all. I think it's 16 now. So he put out 11 sets. The research he puts into one team, people don't put that kind of detail into their own, taking care of their own house.
Yeah.
You got to back off and just let him know he wants to, and he will get to it. but he's got to look. Oh, Dave Gardner wants this. Vinny Mancini wants this. Joe Cos wants this. PJ wants that. So and so wants that.
Yeah,
Jerome.
it's overwhelming, and it's
Yeah, yeah. So he tries to find that
He
mix.
does
But
try.
Yeah.
he does a game as request, and he doesn't go to the same people all the time. So he lets other people put him out there, and he's as fair as can be. And there's a lot of them out there
Mm.
that like that. That's a box checker for me. When the designer, when the company really wants to work with you, and you know
Yes.
that, yeah, that's
Let me see here. We'll go to the chat room real quick. Philip chimes in and says a couple things there on his boxes is, well, do I like it? Of course, yeah. We need to make sure that
I
you
think
like
that's
it.
number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The time, he likes 30 minutes to an hour of playing time. So time is,
Ooh.
and is it complicated to learn?
yeah.
And I guess that's different for different people. The complexity of a game. There's been some games that I thought were ridiculously complex, like Hockey Bones, that I sat on for over a year, and then when I finally actually tried it, it was not hard at all. And there's other games that I tried, and I gave up almost immediately because I just could see where it was going,
Mhm.
and it wasn't clicking for me. And if it's not clicking for me and it's going to be a complicated game, I'm just going to wrestle with this thing to a point where I'm not going to enjoy it.
Right.
And there's been some complex games.
Yeah.
Grant's 49 Quick Decks football game. Okay, I played that in the past. That I consider that a very complex game, but for whatever reason, every step of the way I was able to follow that, and
Mhm.
it made it fun for me because I was playing a complex game and I followed along. But there have been games, even games that weren't even complex, I just couldn't follow, and I had to stop playing. So some complexity of the game comes into play as well.
But you know what else, Dave? And well, you're one of the guys that do it. I think of Joe Costa too, right off the bat. We're in an era. Not only do we have fantastic, wonderful people playing these games, they are so open to helping you.
Mhm.
So open to helping you. So if you really think you want to learn this game, I really got to get this game down pat. I see people play it. It looks so much fun. Reach out to people.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to people because I guarantee you, no matter what game it is, there's going to be somebody who's an expert at it. And that person was willing to sit with you. So, but yes, game complexity will scare you off.
And I like helping people too, because there's a handful of games that I'm pretty good at. Okay, there's some I'm pretty good at, and some I'm just okay with, and some I'm terrible. But the ones I'm pretty good at, if people, I bet, all the time people send me a message either on Facebook or, whatever, Discord or email. And, I think I was sitting there doing the hockey game last week, and I was between periods, and a couple people had emailed me some questions on a hockey game or a football game. And I was able to help them. And I was like, hey, this is kind of how I handle it. This is what you should do. This is what this means. And hey, thanks and you get them over, they get stuck. And now they're past that, what does this mean? And what does that mean?
With me. You did it for me with
Yeah,
Bones,
me too.
Appa Hockey, Appa Football. The other thing I love that you do, God bless you, is if there's a conversation. I remember you did it with somebody was having trouble setting up. It might have been Phil, Appa Football. So you did a stream on setting up.
Setting up.
Somebody emailed you about ODAI and how you did that.
Yep.
It's
fun doing that.
Up there. It's a reference that,
yeah.
Oh, I could go back to that and just watch what Dave did. And but there are people out there. So
yeah, Dave, you helped me with 49 Quick Decks when I first got it, and you just simplified it for me.
Yeah,
really, and it now
That's the
became
other
one of
one.
my favorite art. And Vinny would match up college football. When I remember when I first, when I bought it, and when he showed it to me, I knew I liked it, so I went and bought it.
Yeah.
But I was just hitting some roadblocks, and Vinny.
I just find that if
there
you
were a lot of guys out there,
if you hit those roadblocks and you can get an answer fairly quick, you're more apt to stay with the game. Because if you and I know people are busy, you ask somebody a question, they don't get back to you for a couple of days. It's like, oh boy. But sometimes people get right back to you. Like Dave Arlington, when I was doing that Hockey Bones video, I just drew a blank on something. And I said, Dave, is this? And he got back to me like in 10 minutes. Like, yep. So I was able to go do the video that day because he got back to me and clarified a few things that I was able to do. So there are people that'll definitely help.
Joe Costa's great at that. He'll get back to you. He helped when I first got the season ticket baseball, Joe. But you all the time, you go into the group Joe's always one of the first to answer somebody that's might hit a roadblock with the game. He's great like
Joe
that.
is, and he's so knowledgeable in so many other
Yes.
games.
Yeah.
Look at Jerome.
Yeah.
Jerome, you're a man after my own heart.
So
I get it.
JAA types in. I'm kind of going back, so I'm back
Yeah.
a little bit here. Just hitting the chat room with some of their checking boxes and deal breakers. And JAA says he doesn't like too many charts. He goes, that's a deal breaker. A couple are fine, but he doesn't like going to a book for charts. And so, well, obviously, then you're not going to be a fan of any of the APA games because that's
games,
what it
right.
does. And for me, I kind of took to the charts fairly quickly. I found that I liked, when I go to the APA card and I get a number and I go to a chart and I get the result. I kind of like that. And why I like that is because you can make charts with unlimited numbers if you really
Right.
think about it.
Right.
And on that card, every card can be individualized to the chart for that player. So if he's takes a lot of shots, he gets a lot of this number. If he gets a lot of penalties, he gets a lot of this number.
Good point.
I
Yeah.
kind of like that, and we had a discussion. I don't know if it was with us or someone else about how the modern kickers are kicking way better than the other ones. Now they're kicking 68-yard field goals. Yeah, which is nuts.
That's insane.
So now if you take a touchback at the 20, you're in field goal range. Remember Gus the field goal kicking mule? That's what we're talking about.
I'd like to see the cards for next year, huh?
Yeah, but
And the
somebody was
charts.
talking about that. They're like, well, how the heck is Apple going to work all this in there? I says, because they have the cards with all the numbers.
Right.
They can now make that 40 to 50, yard
Right.
line kick. They can give you more good numbers on their card now. And they're like, yeah, I
Right.
never thought about that.
Right.
So, so I happen to like the charts. Yeah, and I tell people all the time, if you don't like charts, you will not like any of the APA games.
I will say this. I don't mind charts. I've said that. But I would ideally like smaller ones. And I don't think the APA hockey are big charts, the booklet. For me, that's not that big. Would it be nice if it was a little more condensed and smaller? Yeah. But I don't want to like the old APA. I have them, the old boards. Matter of fact, I think I gave them away with the APA game to Phil, but the boards were like, you could put them on Highway 9.
For what I have some smaller APA books, and I think Tebow sent me some, and somebody else sent me one.
They did that with baseball. They had two sizes.
Yeah, and then even with the football now, they made them bigger. And I think, because of the people were saying, boy, my eyes aren't getting as good. I need something
That's
Yeah.
the other thing.
big to look at. So when
Right.
you I have when I play the basic APA Master, I have the brown book, which is just almost it's a little bit bigger than a paperback. And when I got the new version of the game, the the book is huge. It's the size of my APA football, my APA hockey, and it's like I don't need it that big for baseball. No, ironically, that's what the APA Master is. But yeah, they made them so much bigger. Going back to the chat room here. Oh, there's speaking of devil, Mike Canastrarian. He's playing his History Maker Baseball Leap 2040 project.
Right. Mike, we did announce that you were having you were going to open up some rooms in case people couldn't afford to stay at the hotel.
He's making his own
That's
Airbnb.
Can you list the price there and what type of maid outfit you would be wearing?
What's included for breakfast with that? Yeah.
Right. Hash browns.
ST already called him.
Oh, PJ was talking here. He says if I ever do another baseball project, game ends at 9 innings and ties will count. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's just you just want to get it done,
I know. I don't get that though. It's like, don't you want that? Like, you'll never end up having a game like that. Was the World Series this year when 18 innings?
Two of them. 2 games in there.
You won't have that. Like, that's like a memorable game from your replays. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Raymond types in and says, doing too much math would be a turnoff for me. If you're okay, but every action is not worth it. Well, I think that's very subjective, Raymond, as far as the math goes, because there's games I play where I have to do math on the fly, and there's other games I don't play because I have to do math on the fly, if that makes any sense. I think it depends on the type of math, how much, and how difficult it is. For example, the APA Master Baseball, there's math to be done when the ball's hit to the outfield, and then you look at where it's hit is a number, the arm of the outfield is a number, and the speed of the runner is a number. So you have 3 numbers you're looking at, and some you're subtracting, some you're adding. So there is math that has to be done on that to see how many chances that you get going to the next base. That's math I really don't mind doing. I really don't mind doing. There's a couple of other games I play where it's, this changes to this number if this is happening. That's when it gets kind of confusing, because now you got 3 or 4 different levels you're going down to see what's going to change. So I don't mind doing some math.
Yeah.
But it depends what kind of math. And again, it's subjective, because there's some games that I do a lot of math on that I just get it and it just clicks. And there's other games that there's not much math at all that I don't get and it don't click.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, listen, we'll take a game like Stratomatic. You don't mind, the catcher's arm's a -4 and the pitcher's hold is a +1. You don't mind doing math like that.
Simple
like,
math. Yeah.
But like when you got to start -4 but +2. But if this happens, now it's
Yeah.
a ×3. Then that
Yeah.
starts to
Put it on the
that's
chart.
check that box. I'm
Put it
done.
on the chart, like Sean. I agree 150% with Sean saying there too. And
Yeah.
Dwayne mentioned how he misses the old charts. His 55-year-old eyes. Well, Dwayne, I'm a little older than you, buddy, so I know
they
the
don't get any
eyes
better.
are.
Yeah.
No, they don't. That's why I have $1.50 cheaters all the time, just in case. But
Joe Costa has a good point here too. He says, if there are aspects of the sport that are left out that I feel are crucial to how it's played, there's no immersion for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he lists a couple examples here about, some of the baseball games and hockey games and things he doesn't like. But yeah, I think it all depends on what you're looking for out of a game. And, I always say, like, every game I have, there's fun to be had. There's fun to be had in these games, even though it's might not be the amount of immersion I get from other games. So I guess it all depends on what your tipping point is for some of these games.
I missed what the second part of Joe's chat. Did he did mention the games, or he rather not?
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
going to
he
mention
did.
them on here, but I'll just
No,
put
no,
them
I
on
get it.
here.
I get it. I get
So
it.
there was one
Listen.
baseball game and one hockey game that he just didn't like how certain things happened in the game. He didn't feel like
Okay.
if something was missing, or
It's always fair enough,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the designers can't even, if we discuss it and we mention it, the designers shouldn't get upset about it, because, that different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. And so this is a game I play, Stone Cold Hockey. Okay.
Mm.
And that is very similar to Red Ice and similar to
Shootout? No.
the Downey game, Ultra Quick Hockey. Okay. When a goal is scored, you roll the dice and it's weighted to see who gets the goal. Okay. And then it's weighted to see who gets the assists. I'm not a big fan of that way of doing it myself. And I know it all comes out in the wash. But I like, when I'm playing a game, I like to see the puck on the guy's card. And that way I know who's going to get that goal, rather than it's a goal. Now I got to find out afterwards who scores. And sometimes that's the only way to do it. Okay. You can't really do it any other way. But to me, it seems a little awkward, and anytime I play like Ultra Quick Hockey, I'll get the score and then I roll to see who got the goals on a chart. It's kind of
so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But I could live with that in a quick play game, an express game, even an express game. I could live with that.
Yeah,
I can't
again,
live with that. I can't live with that in a full play game.
Yeah, again, can you live with it? If you can live with it, then great.
In an express game, yeah, I get, like Red Ice Hockey, you got to do the goal finder after you score the goal. To me, it's appropriate for that type of game.
Yep.
But if
that's a good point,
that
too.
that was APA or something, be like, no, check this box.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. So again, it depends on the game engine.
Yeah, it's not a deal breaker for me, because I
Right.
still play all those games that I just mentioned. It's not a deal breaker for me. But if I had my dithers, I like to, when that goal scored, I want to know who scored it. I don't want to have to.
Yeah.
Although what Stone Cold did, which is really nice in the PC game, which was actually something I suggested,
Well,
was
you are the man.
I says, if you play the Stone Cold PC game, it shows you who has the puck. That's so you know who's going to get that goal because it'll light up the guy who's got the puck. So it does that roll ahead of time. So if you're going to get a scoring chance, it shows you who has the puck. The only time it doesn't do that is when you happen to roll and you get that automatic goal when you're playing Stone Cold. You've seen that. It says, okay, you get an automatic goal. You're not even rolling for the shot. It's just if they're a offense, they score. And then you got to get the goal after that. But anytime you're rolling for the shot, it lights up and you see who's taking the shot in the PC game. And you can do that in the board game too. Something I suggest is like, so you can roll if you're going to get a shot, roll ahead of time to see who's taking the shot, and then it brings that back into it. You know,
Okay.
I suppose you could probably do the same thing with the red ice and the ultra quick hockey is kind of roll in advance to see who's going to get the next shot or the next goal. I mean, it's. I mean,
You probably can.
if
you
you
I know
know,
what you're
wanted,
saying, but sure, you could.
you know,
You could.
That's what's one of the great games at Grant's games. So you know who's getting that shot with the lines, you know, the F1 and the
yeah.
Let me tell you, and you know, I'm not a shill for anybody, but the 88-89 season, you got to see some of the guys in that season, some of the teams. You got to see the ratings. Mario
Yeah.
Lemieux had. That's the year he had 199 points.
99 points. How many power play goals, Vin?
31 out of his 69 goals. He had 31.
All of them.
Yeah. Or was it 85 goals that year?
He
It was
whatever. It was,
99
five.
points, yeah.
Whatever
I
it
think-
was,
yeah.
it was insane.
it was a lot.
Yeah, he's got like double digits of every rating except for the, in slot. And
Oh
out.
yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I
Godspeed.
gotta get that one myself.
I was just going through all the I love doing that. All the ratings you're looking at, like the Washington Capitals, the hit, whatever. Anyway,
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
John writes in. He says, as far as the Fast Drive Football fact version, he's playing a game in 5 to 7 minutes, and he's tracking some runs and touchdowns and catches and fumbles. So he's kind of tracking some stats as well in that game.
Right.
John, that's what I'm looking forward to. Mine's supposed to get here this weekend. That's gonna, if it plays as well as I think it's gonna, when I think it is, that's gonna be my game. I do full season replays. If I can do games in 5 to 10 minutes, and it's not just roll the dice and get a final score, you can see the game play out again quickly. It's sped up.
yeah.
But if you can see the drives and how it goes on and just flipping those cards and getting the results so fast, yeah. I mean, I'm really looking forward to playing a whole season. And you know what I'm going to do too is I'm going to go into my Solitaire Pro Football, into one of the 150 pages that they send you. You get the schedule. And so whatever season I'm going to play, I'm going to borrow the schedule from Solitaire Pro so I can write my final scores in.
Nice.
Right? So
Nice.
yeah, so I do that a lot too. I'll borrow from other games, charts and whatever I need to do. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that,
Gus just mentioned pick. Gus, go for it. Go for it. Grant's prices are absolutely fair. It's a great season.
Yep.
Even his printed is not expensive at
No,
all.
no.
It's good stuff.
No.
Yeah. Some Roads comes in. He says, he goes, oh, here's one we haven't talked about yet.
Ah,
Card
good one.
aesthetics matter a bunch. He goes, Apple cards are top notch, but History Maker and Strat leave much to be desired. So there's something we talked about too, as far as how the cards look. Again, well, I want to say card aesthetics is not a deal breaker, except for one game. And PJet will remind me what that Rinkside is called. That's the game that looks like a kaleidoscope on the cards, and there's like
Oh, no, I
37 colors. And it's like, if they were to clean that card up and that spreadsheet up, I would absolutely give that game a chance. But that's one game that is a deal breaker. When I saw what the cards look like, I said I could not put them in front of me and expect to play a game. It would bother my eyes, and I would just get scrambled egg brain.
yeah.
by
That should
playing
come
it.
with that. You know the movies when it says
The
this
warning.
movie has visuals that might affect certain
Yeah.
people.
If you have
I'd be
epilepsy,
like this.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
So Some Roads, that's a really good point. Card
Yeah.
aesthetics.
He said about History Maker baseball.
I think it's more for the size, but go
Yes,
ahead.
no, but what I noticed too, and again, like you, and I'm not a shell because I may agree partially with him, I may not, but I did notice that in a lot of the new sets they're coming out with, they're giving you the option. You can do the color version or the black and white version. I mean, you look at the Cooperstown set.
Oh
I
yeah,
think that's a gorgeous set
yeah,
aesthetically.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there are some that are just plain black and white. You know, they're not eye-catching aesthetically. But I did notice that they are given now the option: you want to buy the colored version or the black and white version.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
And so one other one I throw in there is the season ticket baseball cards.
Oh, you love them.
I think hands down they are the best aesthetic individual cards. When it comes to individual cards, they are the best. They're color coordinated.
Hmm.
They're laid out so you can't miss anything. You know what everything is. Everything is sectioned off. You don't ever have to look at anything and wonder what this number is or that letter is. Everything is just laid out and labeled. It's like the Dewey Decimal System. It really is. And so that's a great point by Some Roads.
And that covers both, right? Is that aesthetics and the readability, the playability.
Yeah, so I think season ticket is the best. Appy, you can't go wrong because especially the newer cards, they're so bright and those numbers jump out at you and they're great
Mhm.
size. Payoff pitch is not bad either. I like how payoff pitch has their
Yeah.
color coordinated, and then I like the printed version is way better than the PDF. How they're laid
Oh,
out with
no
the
comparison.
Oh, there's no
well,
comparison.
not only with the quality but with the aesthetics.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
the printed version, the outs are at the bottom, I think. And the PDF, the outs are at the bottom, and they're on the right on the printed ones. And I
Yes.
like that compared to the PDF. It's easier to find.
And the
Way
bank
easier to
shot
find.
cards. The bank shot cards are laid out great.
Yep, they are too.
Great.
Yeah. So card aesthetic is a big thing. I'm trying to think if I have any. Oh, Hockey Bones.
They're
There's
not bad
nothing.
cards at
There's
all.
nothing wrong with Hockey Bones, especially if you get them through drive-through because they're only PDF. So if you get them through drive-through, they're fantastic. They are
Yes.
pricey, but they're fantastic.
Very legible.
And yeah, they are small. The numbers do get small on there because there's a lot of symbols and things going on. But I have yet to ever look at a card and get confused of like what was what on that either. So the Hockey Bones is another one. They're a little small, but as far as aesthetics go, I think they're pretty good. Any other game here that I have?
As far as player cards, I know, Grant, most people use the team card, but the player cards, they're pretty nice aesthetically.
I thought
On
about
49.
Pete
thought
Van
about
Torp,
printing.
Charlie
Has
Winkler.
anybody here ever played with the individual cards yet?
So I'm actually about to do that. I want to do the 91, 92. When if I get to it, I want to do the Rangers schedule replay, and I might use highlight just to do it, or I might do a little of both. But I'm starting to print out the individual cards because I want to do the as played.
Mhm.
You know, and I actually had believe it or not, I had trays made to fit
Yeah.
the
Oh,
cards
nice.
for
And you know
49
what would be
quick decks,
great,
so I
Joe?
can do that. So yeah, I'm in the process of printing them out now that I got home.
For head to head, they're great. We should have something at my house and try that with because head to head, the cards would be
You're talking about
perfect.
for a 49 game head to head?
Yeah,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
would be perfect. The card.
Yeah, team cards head to head. I would lean more towards individual player
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
I'm with
You
you.
could, you could
But
just
they're nice aesthetically.
yeah, and replay. Pete Ventura puts out
Yeah, I
beautiful
never.
cards. Replays basketball and baseball cards. In my opinion, beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
Clay, listen, Clay's season ticket football. His team cards are very nice aesthetically. They're
The
not
team sheet,
confusing.
yeah.
So like
Well,
ST, same. They're not
Very
confusing
similar.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's a good point. Some Roads is aesthetics matter, whether they're the
Yes,
cards or the
that was a
team card.
great point.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to be hunting for things. You want to
No.
find it right away because that keeps the game moving. If you got to stop and start looking around and you get lost, then yeah.
And you know,
Um,
when you got a beautiful set of cards, it makes it playing so much more fun.
Oh,
too.
definitely.
Yeah.
It
There's
just
no question
adds
about
to
it.
the aura of the game itself, and yeah,
Yeah, I have this conversation all the time with people, and it's just like, oh, it costs so much to go to, and it's like, once you get the cards in your hand, it's just magical, and just you hold that special guy that you really like in your hand. You're holding his card. He's not
Yes.
just on the team sheet. There's something about when he comes up to bat or he's getting the pass thrown to him or he's taking a shot. You're looking at his card, and it's him, and
Yeah.
there's something about that I really like compared to the team cards.
And
Yeah.
when it comes to baseball, I would have to, and I like, the game payoff pitch. I love them. I'm Strat, still love Strat baseball, but Clay's Season ticket baseball cards
Yeah.
are really nice to
And
look
I
at,
like to,
hold.
Yeah.
like when I'm playing a game like whether it's payoff pitch or app or even strat or something like that, season ticket. And sometimes you need to go and get the guy's rating. I really don't mind picking up the cards and thumbing through them and
Yep.
finding the guy.
Yep.
Me
That's
too.
part of the game for me. I do. I don't mind that. I
Me
think it's
too.
actually kind of fun. It's like because you're
Yep.
thumbing through who is.
Even
Oh, this
even
guy.
breaking down sets. Like if you get a strat, you get the sheets and you
Yeah.
break them. Like
Yeah.
I did. For instance, the dead ball from the 20s. Okay. And you hold in Babe Ruth's pitching card and Babe Ruth's hitting card. It just
Yeah.
brings something when you hold that individual player
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, and I've shared this story with you guys privately and probably on the show. When Strat Hockey first came out, I used to write letters to Hal. I was still a kid, and I was working in a woodworking shop. It was about, I don't know, 5 blocks from me. And I ordered the hockey game when it finally came out.
So when you were a kid, you were doing this. So what, were you building Noah's Ark?
No, that was right before Noah's Ark. It was a long time ago.
How many cubits?
It was a long, long time ago. Oh, that's
Did you
a
have
classic.
Leon and Leonetta on?
Oh, man.
Leon and Mabel. Yeah.
That's how we started life with the possums. Yeah, we had them on the ark. I think they had the second row. I'll just cut right to the chase. I remember having Guy Lafleur, and it would literally felt like, so I had to be 17, 18, because it came out, first season was 77, 78, which would be 78, 79. Yeah, I was probably 17, 18. And I remember when I put that Canadian team on the table and I had Guy Lafleur there, I can't even describe the feeling. It was like, Guy Lafleur is really on my table finally, because it was the
That's-
first hockey game I knew of.
I
And
can
it never went away. Never
I,
went
I,
away.
I
I
have-
could relate to that, Vin, because
Yeah.
my first full season set from Strat, my first, I had team sets when you used to buy, remember you used to buy them and you get 4 teams and then you could write away for the other ones for $3. But
Mhm.
my first full season was 69 and holding that Tom Seaver card in my hand. I was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Right.
wow.
Yep. Same with me and Bobby Orr when I got Apple Hockey in and I had Bobby Orr. And every time I moved the puck to the lefty and it's Bobby Orr, it's like, okay. And then when he would do something, it was like, oh, that is awesome. He got an assist or a goal. Just,
Yeah.
magical times.
And it's funny because he was one of the guys I kept thinking about, because he retired by then when Strat Hockey came out. So it's like, are we ever gonna get a Strat
Yeah.
Hockey card of Bobby Orr? Now, when I have a game, it's one of the first guys I got to get out there. I have to get out there. In my game I was playing,
Yeah.
he there was a goal scored and his assist was like 52 or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I rolled a 53.
Oh.
I was so mad. I was like, what do you mean Bobby Orr had to get an assist there? But yeah,
Based on our subject tonight, is that something that could be a deal breaker or not for you, or check the box to buy the game? That them having a season with your favorite guy, your favorite player.
I think that goes back to our seasons talk, but if they have like a lot of seasons and are just missing the one that you want where your
Yes.
team won the championship,
That could be might be a deal breaker.
it
could be.
it's a disappointment because even with APA and Solitaire Pro Football, a couple of my favorite football games, they don't have the 04 season. And that's the one I really want, because I think it was Adam Vinatieri's last season and the Patriots won the Super Bowl. That's the one I really would like, where Brady's just getting into just getting into being real Brady, and they won the Super Bowl that year, and they don't have the 2004, and so that's not a deal breaker for me, even though that's the one that I would really, really like. 1995 baseball is another season I really want to get.
Really?
It's too expensive for APA because for what I would want. I do have it in season ticket, and I printed out a couple of teams, so I'll probably play it in season ticket.
What is it about 95?
That's a season. I remember I was playing ice hockey And after hockey,
Okay.
we would stop in for beers and places. And there was one guy that was like big into the Red Sox, so he got me watching the Red Sox in '95. Tim Wakefield with a knuckleball and
Oh.
guys like that. I think they had a Jose Canseco that year
Yes.
and Mo Vaughn. So it was. I just remember a lot of those guys, and I think they got shut out by Cleveland in the playoffs. But I just want to play that Red Sox team, but Payoff Pitch doesn't have it. And
It's something that brings a memory back for you.
yeah, so but again, Payoff Pitch is not a deal breaker because they don't have 95. Because I can play it in other games, but that's something I would like to get along with the 2004 football. But again, that's not a deal breaker. It's a disappointment because I would like to play, but it's not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Sean has a good point here. He says every game should be able to include all the players, at least offer them on a PDF or something like that. I like that too, Sean, but sometimes they tell you that the guys that played just a couple of games are the hardest to card
Yep.
because they don't have much to go on.
But Clay does it.
Oh,
Clay
and a
does
lot
it.
of people do, Payoff Pitch and season
Mhm.
ticket, and I think even Appa does just about everybody now. But it's just they don't have a lot to go on, and then it's more work. So I mean, if the people want to do it, it is a lot more work because I think Clay at season ticket when his printed set was like 700 something, and you got to order the PDF to get the other 234. So there's 234 people
Wow.
that were those
I didn't
fringe
realize
people.
that.
Yeah,
That
at least
with the printed.
well in 1978, I think that's what I read on his website there. But again, did you want to do all the work? And I think
Mhm.
even now, Payoff Pitch offers like a normal set and then the full set.
Yeah.
So do you want to pay more for those guys, or do you want to, if you're
But
never going to
at
use
least
them?
they give you the option.
Yeah. And I think APA does that now too. You can buy the quote extra cards for APA baseball, and that'll get you everybody that played. But if you don't want them, then you don't have to spend the money on them. So
Right.
I think a lot of games do that, but there are some that flat out don't. And it's just you get the guys that these are the guys you should get, and everyone else you don't. Like I said, I lean towards everybody carded myself, but
Peach,
Um,
that's awesome, man. I didn't know that. So he actually got to play
Wow.
the beta of Strat Hockey back
Wow.
then. I wonder if my friend Stu did, because Stu is very close with Bob Winberry and them. But good for you.
yeah, it's pretty
Good
cool.
for you.
John writes in, he goes, badly written rules with a lot of
Oh,
ambiguity turned me
that's a
off.
good one.
Yeah, I actually had that written down over here. I was about to write it down. Bad directions. That it's a borderline deal breaker because if you're reading the rules and you're like, man, I am lost. I got like 3 different ways I could go on this, and which way do I go? And if I got to keep stopping and
Yeah.
asking questions, it's like something is wrong here. Either I'm not getting the flow of this game, or the directions are written kind of poorly. But in either case, I'm struggling,
Mm.
and say what you will about some of the APA games, they get really confusing. I managed to filter out a lot of the APA's really written weird, like on like the clearing check. It's so weird. It's like if you subtract this and from that, it's a negative number. We don't want to deal with negative numbers. We don't
I
want to deal with
still
negative
haven't
numbers.
attacked it yet because
And it's
Kevin
like,
Thomas made a video to explain it, but I just haven't had the chance. But I would love to see the corner battles.
oh, the corner battles are easy, but there was I think it was the clearing of the puck was like if it's and if it's less than 0, it's we don't want to go less than 0.
Oh, clearing.
We want to stay in the positive. So
Right.
look at the defenseman, look at the roll of the dice. And I think what they were doing is they were subtracting the opposite way to get that. And I was like, the way they worded it was really
Yeah.
weird. It's simple, but the way they worded it, like if you were just picking up the game, you'd be like, man, what do they mean by this? So absolutely, you need to have a rule book that's
Mhm.
done pretty well. Say what you will about the Hockey Bones book, which the rule book, which was like ridiculously long. They explained everything. There was nothing you walked away from that book with any doubt on. If you needed to, it was in there somewhere. It was in there,
Mm.
and they were so clear. That's why it looks so long, because look at all these pages. But when you
Right.
start reading it, it's like, they are just making sure everything is clear.
Mhm.
Everything that could happen in the game, there's a rule for.
100%. Yeah.
So it's like if this is the result, an X is this, a number sign is this, this is this, this is this. And Strat does the same thing too. And I got to give credit to Strat. I remember reading their baseball game and their hockey game. They give examples.
Yeah, APA too. Yes.
Here's what can happen on this play. This, and this, and it tells you what it all means.
Yeah.
In some games, they give you one example, and it's like, oh, well, what does this mean?
Yeah.
How do I interpret this? Do I kind of go by this and then assume this? But when it tells you exactly what happens on something, that's beautiful because
APA hockey's good like that.
Or
too.
explain a rule. I mean, a situation.
Right.
Like when me and Joe were going through the clearing. So to me, clear the puck, but it doesn't say they're clearing the puck. But to clear the puck should just mean they got it out of their zone.
Well,
but in APA hockey, it's clearing the front of the net and the goalie holds.
Yeah,
on.
That's the way I think it says that they clear the puck into the stands.
Yes.
Which is actually a penalty nowadays. So I tell people when you read the clearing in APA hockey, okay, you take the two defensemen's clearing rating, is I think what it is. And then you roll the dice, and if the defenseman can meet or beat that, they clear it. But they're not clearing it; they're clearing out the front of the net so the goalie can tie it up. So yes, so that's what it is.
Right.
So the wording is kind of weird with some of that stuff.
The newer APA book hockey, I think it says deflects off the glass and into the stands.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's just kind of
used to. I think the old did say, and like you said, that's a penalty now. Now in today's
game,
but
you can't make it.
Now I think it's saying deflects off the glass.
Yeah, but even that you can't. No, because it becomes
a face-off.
Right. So if it goes by deflects off the glass, then you're telling me this defenseman is excellent at shooting the puck off the glass. And it goes
no, I think it actually is a goalie. It's on a goalie result.
Yeah.
When goalie makes the save and it deflects off the glass.
It's a rebound or you check for the clear on the result. So if you can't clear it, then the guy will get the rebound shot is kind of what it comes down to. But yeah, when they say clearing, it's kind of weird because they're supposed to clear it off the glass and out of play.
Right,
no matter how you do it, it's a face off in the defensive zone. To me, I tell people picture them clearing the front of the net. And so the goalie makes a save. It's a rebound. They tie everybody up. They clear out the place, and he gets to tie it up.
Smother it, right?
Defensive zone draw. So instead of saying, "Oh, they cleared it off the glass 17 times," they cleared out the front of the net. Goalie ties it up. It's the same result. To me, it's a little bit more immersion than guy fires it up into the stands. To me, that's kind of weak.
Because like Joe said, that would be a penalty. But we're not going to stay there on APA rules anyway. That was just one of the things.
Yeah,
so.
PJ has another good one. He wants hockey games in his point with depth, variety, and variables. He goes, even a fast game like Shootout and Hockey Blast have a lot of those features or enough to satisfy me. Yeah, that's the thing that highlight hockey, 49 highlight hockey has in spades. When I'm done that game, I just don't feel like I missed anything. I'm so satisfied after, and to a certain degree, Shootout does kind of the same thing. Hockey Blast, because of the individual cards, it gets more into the Strat and the APA range than it does the Shootout or the highlight hockey. But yeah, if you're playing a quicker game, you want to get. It's again, you're skipping out a lot of the detail to condense the time, but you still got to be satisfied. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, this fast action version of Fast Drive Football, because it's a quick play game. You can play a football game in 10 minutes, but you get to see the drives. You get to see the scores. So you feel like you're there playing this game, even though you're giving up every single play. But I think that it's a fine line you're walking there between losing all this detail and keeping you immersed. And so, yeah, that's another good one by PJ,
I mean, highlight hockey, I'm having a hard time thinking of going to Quick Decks because it just crosses every.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. The Quick Decks I find to be very intense because it's just.
It is.
It's intense. Whereas the highlight, it's just fun and it's fast.
Getting to me, how I like full. I like the highlight, but now doing like that, if I decide to do that Ranger season replay, just their schedule, I feel I can get enough out of highlights to do that. Where
I
with
think you
other
could.
game engines, I wouldn't use the faster version.
Right. Yeah. Well, Grant said he was playing I don't know, Canuck replay or something like that, and he was like spot on with his stats.
Hmm.
So good for
With,
him
with
Hmm.
highlight, huh?
with
Wow,
highlight.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
wow.
Gus says that the footprint size. So if this is something that Vinny talked about, he says he doesn't want a huge footprint and less charts the better. I There's
Gus was
only
a
a handful.
copycat. Copycat.
There's only a handful of games that really have a huge footprint. Where you need like walls of charts everywhere and stuff to get at everywhere. Um, I like a little bit of a footprint. Not gonna lie, I like to have feel like that I have things going on. Now, sometimes if I just play myself and I play baseball, for example, I just got the pitcher and the batter right here. That's my footprint. That's fine, and I get my results. But there's having things on the table to look at and different. I kind of like that. I like having my setup, and that's going to
Yeah.
be another show we're going to talk about down the line. Is what is our setup and how do we set up? I like to have a setup.
Yeah.
I
I
do.
mean, I narrowed my footprint on Apple Hockey. I showed you, how I narrowed it. I don't put the board out. Um, for me, the home team is always on the right. The visitors are on the left. So I kind of set it up that way. The home team is on the bottom. The visitors are on the top. And this is just for me. But I was able to, I don't have a board. I set them up the way you want. I guess the way Strat would be set up or Bank
Mhm.
Shot,
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
PJ brings up this good point too, about just some of the variety and getting the meat on the bone, as we like to say, is he says they have the variable home and
Yeah.
road scoring ranges, and sometimes in some seasons the goalie ranges can change too. So you could be a C team at home and a D on the road, and you're still rolling dice sometimes to see if you're bringing the better game. And so
Yeah, he's on
I
the
don't want
money with that.
I don't want to say no two games are the same because at some point you can only be one of a couple of different results here, but you go into every game and it has a potential. And so when you're playing the Seals and the Canadians, and you get the bad roll for the Canadians, so they're the lower of the rating, and then you get the higher rating of the Seals in that game. It just gives them just enough of a chance to maybe win that game. Whereas if it was Montreal's
Make a
best and the
difference.
Seals' worst, then there's no chance. But
Right.
sometimes that's how the worst teams in that league or the lesser teams can make up a little bit of
Yes.
ground. So
And the shooting ranges, how they could vary.
yeah,
The other
yeah.
day I was playing an 80s Montreal against 70s Montreal because I wanted Vinny's Montreal team to win, so he couldn't lose in that case.
so we
But
won.
Yeah, they won. Montreal won. But
Good.
I think with the goalie being home in the 70s, they gave the 80s team a 1 to 11 range. That was like nothing. 1 to 11 range. So he's right.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
plays well
home
into a
ice
quick
advantage comes
15-minute
in.
game.
Yep, it does a really good job of
You know,
that.
they-
Yep.
Talking about footprints, and who was it brought it up? Because in the back of my head, I mean, we're talking sports games, but John DFW brought up a Civil War game, and Jerome is a huge war gamer, so he
Oh,
jumped
those
on.
war gamers, they take up like
Oh
basements.
my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I have one of the simpler ones called Warfighter, and that's a mat and cards. But these guys play like, you know, Dave, I'm on 60th Street. Your team is, your army's down on 70th Street because
You
you're
know-
like 10 blocks away.
there's people whose full-time job is to have people over their house in their basement and play these games on these massive tables, whether they're war games or like Dungeons and Dragons. And you go and you pay by the hour, and they run the table for you and help you play these games, and they're massive.
And
Like
they do all the, like,
all the
setting
miniatures
up
and
the-
stuff. Yeah, it is just
Oh,
it's something I would love to do
Beautiful.
because it's like, man, that would just be so. I mean, I couldn't do it here, but to go to somebody's house, I would pay to go and sit through one of those nights and be like, wow, that sounds like it's really fun.
all right, we got to get Canestrari to do that too during the, so he'll put that in a different room.
Yeah, that'd be the
Set that up.
the Airbnb. Yeah, Gus brings
Yeah.
in the Costa shootout. Yeah, and that's where some of the games like PDF and things like that. they really do. The
War
cost
games.
is saving, and that's where team cards come in too. So if you get a team card game like Shootout, season ticket football, a second season football, the team cards are obviously, you're only printing out 20 or 30 teams versus hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 cards if you want the
Yeah.
whole
You
season.
don't mind the PDFs and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
that's why
It's
if
like
I'm gonna play a card game, I usually try to pony up the money to buy it printed because it's just I
Mhm.
want everybody, I really do, and usually the cards are much better than I can do. So that's when it comes to that, yeah, there's a handful of games I just buy the seasons printed
Yeah.
and bite the bullet. Um,
I
back
just want
in
to answer Patrick a second. So, Patrick, I sold my entire, every expansion set, everything of World War II. I only play modern, but I haven't played in a while. Modern seems more realistic to me, but maybe we'll do a war game session one day. Not.
yeah, that'd be fun.
No.
Just one day. Dave's
We'll,
tabletop
we'll do
gaming.
soccer before war games, I guess.
Yeah, Dave talks about this expensive baseball game with only one season available.
Me.
So he's talking about lack of seasons, as we talked about seasons earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it would really stink if you found a game that just checked every box, but it didn't have enough seasons in your range. That would really, really kind of stink,
And it just
Um,
doesn't make sense. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know. Put them out.
And
If you want to-
Dwayne brings up the every player. If
Yeah.
you're a season replayer, not having every player, yeah, you can't really do a season replay if you want to do as played,
No.
So that's what it is. And Raymond brings up a good point here. He goes, having a lot of seasons helps you scratch the itch when you get inspired by something and you want to play. And that's a great point. Is how many times am I get on Facebook and I see a picture of, Stan Mikita, and it's like, oh, now I got to go play a Blackhawks game.
Yeah.
Or I get on YouTube and it's like, oh, here's highlights of this baseball game. Well, now I got to go play that baseball game. And to have those seasons there, knowing you can get downstairs or wherever it is you play and set up that game and play it, that makes it your favorite game if you have that season. It really
Right.
does, because
Right.
it's like, oh man, I want to play this game. Oh, I don't have it in this game, and I don't have it in this game. This game I have it in, so I'm going to play this game. So yeah, that's where the big deal comes in as far as
And
seasons
what I
go.
never understand, like I say, I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, and it could be my age too. The age of gamers, board gamers, it's an older group,
hmm
but yet they seem to come out with a lot more current seasons when they first come out instead of I'll even go to the 50s. Not that I didn't see 50s hockeys. No, I'm not that old. But you got the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, even 90s. But they come out with a lot of the more current stuff.
I wish I get into modern sports more than I am. I watch as a casual fan. I don't know many of the individual players. I like even the World Series. There's only a couple guys I knew. Even when I was done watching, there's only a couple guys I knew. And even in hockey, there's only like 10 or 15 guys that I know. Everybody else, I just don't know. And I wish I followed it closer because I would absolutely love to go and play like last year. If my team won the championship last year and I followed it, I would love to go back and play that. But like you were saying, Vin, that I play the seasons I know, and I can go
Mhm.
back and know 80% of the guys on certain seasons, or at least recognize names to a point where I feel comfortable, like I'm around friends. If I were to play last season in baseball or hockey or football, I would have so many players I had no idea who they are. It wouldn't mean anything to me.
I have a
Right.
hard time with playing modern baseball. I mean, listen, I was still watching. I'm still a Mets fan, but I have a hard time. I'd rather play the older. I don't know what it is. Maybe the way the games change. I don't have a hard time playing modern hockey, and even
No.
some football. Some, not all, but some
Yeah.
football. But baseball, like last
No.
week, I tried to do like 2024 baseball teams, and I just got nothing out of it. But if I take two 1954 baseball teams,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I didn't see the 50s, but to have Willie Mays, and I don't know, maybe I'm
I
just
think
too old school. I
there's
don't know.
too many teams right now, so the teams are watered down a little bit more,
Yeah.
and just they have
Pitching for sure.
they have so many guys on the team, especially in hockey that really don't really belong in the NHL. That, if you cut out 10 hockey teams, imagine the league you'd have, and that would be kind of fun. And I'm not dumping on anybody because I can't play hockey.
I don't have no problem playing modern hockey, but baseball I do.
Yeah, but so they still make those new seasons. I think they kind of have to. I still think there's enough people that want that do follow it. That aren't.
Patrick and Dwayne brought out 2 good points. I guess that makes sense. Again, which is why I said I have. I don't know why that is, but Patrick and Dwayne brought out good points, and I get it. Trying to drag the younger crowd in, maybe.
Yep.
Appealing to them,
Yep.
and then just creating seasons because that's what they know.
And a perfect example is Ryan Strauss. Okay, you cannot talk to Ryan Strauss. He wants everything modern. You talk to him anything pre-90, he wants nothing
Ryan's
to do with it.
12 years old? How old is Ryan?
No, but still. But it gets to his point about the young people, trying to draw the young people.
I agree.
Ryan's a younger guy.
Yep,
yes,
that's a great point. Yeah,
which is great to see.
Yeah,
Ryan loves board gaming.
Sean says he doesn't want more than 3 dice in a game, so that could be a deal breaker with him. I don't know.
It's an interesting one.
I roll when I play Payoff Pitch and Appa Master. I roll 5. I have my main roll, and then the other couple of rolls.
Payoff Pitch, you were rolling more than that. I was watching you last night.
Oh, I roll my 2d6, and then I roll two percentage dice.
2d6 and 2,
and
2d10s.
then you had the 2 backup dice.
Yeah, because you got to read off the picture card, and then if you need to go to the ballpark, that's when I use my first percentile, and then to get the result, I use my second percentile.
I re-rolled the first percentile.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's and the same thing with Apple Hockeys. I roll 2 sets of dice.
Yeah, I do that in hockey.
Because it saves you time because then you get your offensive guy, and if he gets a shot on net, then you see if the goalie makes a save, and then you're never picking up the dice and then forgetting what the roll was.
I was going to say, and
that's kind of my thing.
I'm forgetting, was that a 64 I rolled or a 54?
Yeah, that's why I roll a lot of, and even Apple football, I'll roll.
I do
2
the same
sets
too.
of dice, so I can have my defensive roll, my offensive roll, and then and sometimes I'll have a third set in case there's a penalty that you got to go to. It just makes it so much faster instead of picking up and then forgetting what you did. So there.
Now, when you play John Turnbull's games, you want to roll the multiple.
Baseline
you can do all your readings in one shot.
Yeah, the basketball games are fun.
All of them.
Basketball game, I roll all 150 dice in one shot, whatever it is.
Cutter comes by and says he likes the affordability and also the seasons with the sets. He likes the variety that Stone Cold Hockey has, and at $10 a season, it's worth it for him. So
shootout.
Same thing there. PJet says at first season of Deck of Cards Hockey were free, but he now charges $10, which is fair. Okay. Yep. And let me see here.
You put something up for free, you forget it.
Yeah, and then Cutter also says he likes sometimes he gets influenced by other games. If the affordability is there, and he says he'll play some different games from watching people in the community play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's fun. That's how you see other games. Let me see here. I'm way behind the chat, but I'm trying to catch up here. As Raymond said, they were texting me about Apple Hockey, and I was at the rink in between periods. I was able to help them up. Trying to see if anybody else has any things here in the chat room. I love what
Jerome did. Jerome saying how he just bought last year's strap baseball for a friend's son.
That's great stuff.
11 years old. Oh man, that just warms my heart. So teaching the kid to play, and I tell you, my niece brought her little ones over one time, and they were enamored with me shuffling cards, and then they want to know what the cards. So I was using the card shuffler. Then I had the cheaper ones. Yeah, take it home. Here's a deck of regular cards. Play with it. But they wanted to know, what are you playing, Uncle Benny? What are you playing? And that just warms my heart.
That's nice. Otis comes by again. I'm a little bit late here with some of the stuff, but he wants to order some Ultra Quick Hockey from Downey. He doesn't see it on the website. I don't know if they're offering the printed stuff anymore. So you might have to go to the PDF section of the Downey website to get that. I haven't been to the Downey website in a while, but I don't know if they're offering printed stuff anymore. So you might have to look at the PDF stuff. That's what I can think of right now. In the chat room here, Joe Costa, we were talking about the card aesthetics. He agrees on season ticket baseball. Just enough color, but it's still clean. And I remember, I think ST might have been that matchup. No, it was something else he was working on. I think it was ST. And he sent me like the team page and a couple of charts, and they were just full color. And they look great on the computer. But I said, there's no way I'm going to be printing out more than a page or two of these. You're going to chomp up my ink. So I
I
says,
wonder what it was.
No, it wasn't ST. You mentioned this. I can't remember who it was.
Because
I remember-
SPs aren't color intensive.
Yeah, no, it wasn't ST.
Okay, there was someone else.
Yeah,
This was many
you
years
mentioned it
ago.
a couple of weeks back, Dave. I remember.
There was, it was many years ago. It was probably like 4 years ago now. And someone had sent me something. He goes, here's my football game. And I just said, look, I says, quite honestly, I says, I'm not even going to print this out to test it, because I says, look how much red is on this page, and look how much blue and black's on this page. It says, that looks great on your computer screen. Go try printing this out. And if I got to print out every team like this, it says, you need more white. You need more white. We need to have less color. And so season ticket they got a little bit of color on there, and that's all you need. You get the team color, and that's just great. In a couple of spots, it's great. But if you're gonna, if you're gonna flood it, in that baseball game I was talking about that only had the one season, their cards are the same way. They're full color in the background. I printed out 2 teams, and that was it. And I'm like, that's just gonna chomp up my ink. It's like, you don't need full color individual cards or team
You
cards.
print them out, and you got to hang the sheet on a line out in the yard so it dries out.
Exactly. Like the season, the regular season basketball, I like them. They get the team name at the top. It's all in the color. There's some color shading going on, but the rest of it's black and white.
I remember who it was now, Dave. I don't want to say it.
Okay, well, we can talk later.
But it wasn't ST. I remember.
All
who
right,
it was.
cool. And I don't know whatever happened with that game. And I was just being honest. I says, I'm just being honest with you. I says, I wouldn't even print out the demo of this because it's just way too much ink. I says, you need to back it off.
Well, it's only fair to the guy who did it too, and yourself, not to have to take that on because you feel obligated.
I hate to dump on something because it looked gorgeous, but it's like the regular person's going to look at this saying, man, I can't, because there's nothing worse than when you print out something that's all this color and then it fades out because your ink is gone.
Yeah.
And it looks like crap. And now you're like, man, I just wasted all this ink printing this and I can't even use it because it's terrible, So, and Raymond was going back to the cards. He says, holding your favorite player's cards in your hands reminds me of your youth when you bought trading cards. That's an interesting point too. Yeah.
100%.
Yep. Buying a pack of cards. Yep. As a kid. Yep. And Barbara types in, does anybody know this Barbara person here? I don't know. But she says she likes having the player card in your hand, just like you're really at the game with them. She's been playing some payoff pitch and a little bit of strat, and so she has the individual cards, and she really likes the individual cards, And I know she likes having everybody too. She's doing some as played Mets games, and she likes having everybody, And Some Road says the season ticket cards reminded me of Monopoly properties. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Little bit of color, make it look nice, make it feel special, but it's not too much, If Vinny needs an arc for his bank shot seasons and payoff pitch seasons, he could probably just build it with those cards right now. Right? They would all float. His house would just float away at this point,
Payoff. I got
payoff pitch. I'm sorry. It looked like something you saw on the NYPD website on a table.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten to
it. Looked like a drug
either.
bust. It looked like a drug bust. It's like, look
they're
at
behind me.
Look what we stole here.
Unseparated.
We stole this guy. We arrested him. Dwayne, yes. So his card is the 83 Appa Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy.
Yeah, we all have our favorite cards. That's really great. Yeah.
How good was he?
Ron McGrath comes by. Hi, Ron.
Big
Good to see.
Ron.
Yeah.
Happy Veterans Day, Ron.
And
Yeah, to anybody that served Jerome too.
yeah, Craig comes by, says the play games around 2020, so updated the look of their team and player card design, just a little bit more color and graphics.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, the same with the hockey. The hockey cards look fantastic now.
Yeah, I love the way the hockey
it's David chimes in. He says the George Foster original 77 card is the one for him.
He was an animal that year.
Yep,
He really was.
Yep, 52 dingies.
Yep.
That is pretty good. And Dwayne says that in 2024, there was a catcher that played one game and came in for defense and never got an at bat, and Appa carded him. So kudos to Appa for carding a guy that didn't even get up to bat.
Stratomatic did that this year too on a Diamond Gem set. Moonlight Grim.
Really?
They did Moonlight Graham. They just threw a
Oh,
Moonlight Graham card in.
Probably did
nice.
it because of who it is.
Yeah.
That's great. Herb Washington card must be interesting to see. I'm not
I
sure.
bet he was a great hitting.
I don't think he ever hit.
He didn't. He never had a bat.
I'm trying to just
Like
zip through.
Moonlight Graham.
There you go.
And Barbara says that she'd rather watch a video than read the books and the charts. Yeah, I think, like I say, videos and having someone kind of walk you through a game. I walked you through a couple games and I just told her, roll the dice and we're going to do this. Roll the dice, we're going to do that. And just get the basic mechanics down. And then once you're off and running, then you get some confidence too,
I'll tell you what I do with that, Barbara, and that's a good point. Sometimes I'll read the instruction, then I'll watch a video, and then you go back and read the instruction, and it makes that much more
Oh
sense.
my gosh, does
Yeah.
it? Yeah, there's been so many times I've read the instructions, I kind of get it. Then you watch the video and you're like, oh yeah. Then you put it
Yep.
on your
And
table.
you go back, and it's like, wow,
Then
they
you
jumps
get-
off the page.
Yeah, once it's on your table and you start getting the mechanics work and say, oh, I can absolutely see this now. But whereas before I couldn't quite visualize it,
Yeah, yeah.
And AP comes by and he says, the Player of the Game basketball is a fun one. Yeah, that's kind of a reverse engineering game. The Player of the Game basketball by Downey is whereas you kind of roll to see who's in the game, and then you got to do a couple of rolls to see, you got to get a couple of numbers to match up to see how many dice you're going to roll, and then you roll those dice to get your points, and then you factor in the home court and the defense of the opposite team, and you get your final score. And it's kind of fun because you start rolling the dice, you start at the bottom, and the guys that are, bench players might get a point or two, and then you get up towards your top three guys, and they're dropping in 20, 30, and 40 points, and that's what makes it fun. I think I did a Wilt Chamberlain game one time, and I think like everybody had like a combined like 10 points. Chamberlain just put in the rest. I think I was rolling. I think I had to go buy more dice to roll the number of dice I needed for Wilt Chamberlain in that game. And I got a lot of dice, and I still ran out of dice, So that was kind of fun. Trying to think here. Joe says they call them monster games. The war games call them monster games for a reason. Yeah. No, they're fun. Even that. Mike in the truck comes by, and did you see Mike in the truck with his family football, making some cards for family football?
A tabletop game. He's talking about doing a tabletop.
Yep.
Must be busy in that truck, Mike.
Vin, did you get a chance to play it when we were in Canton to play with him?
I played against Mike.
It was so good, right?
Yeah.
And I think a tabletop game. I think is a great idea.
Yeah, I forget who I think I had Cleveland with Otto Graham. We played a game. It's a good game. It was fun.
I'm trying to think if there's any more in the chat room here before we sign up. I'm almost caught up here as Marco comes by, and it's good to see Marco here. We didn't talk about soccer here tonight, Marco.
Soccer Blast.
Yeah, Soccer Blast.
Colorful cards, Marco.
And Barbara says, "Yep, that's what Dave told me." It's like, wow, I see it now and read the rules. Yeah, I've done that in so many games. I after I played it or watched the video, I pull out the rule book. It's like, oh, now and then it's all downhill from there. It's fantastic. So, all right. So before we wrap things up, any other things in the chat room here or from you guys as we talk about things that we like, boxes that we like checked in our games, and are there any deal breakers? There's one more deal breaker that I have, and again, it's kind of very subjective for me. Is if I start rolling dice or flipping cards, and I get a result, and those results start changing depending on what's going on, that always throws me for a loop. And there's something about that that just. I want to get my result once in a while. I don't mind a variation.
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
but it's
I don't like that either.
No, it's not this. It should be this, but it's not this because of something else that happened or something else on the guy's card, and that changes everything.
Right.
And if you're into the game and you're flowing the game, then that stuff comes natural. But a lot of times it's like, well, why isn't it this? Oh, because it's this.
Yeah, it's not a case where you roll on a guy and that puck's labeled. Roll on the goalie. Oh my gosh, how did he make that save? It's not. It's well, this would goal. Oh no, wait, but that takes away the goal, and that takes away this, and this. Oh, now is a penalty. That drives me
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. If it does too much of that, if it's going to be, oh, it's going to be a home run. Oh no, it's a ground ball to third. Yeah,
Right.
because of this, and this, that home run is now this. It's like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it's like, okay, this is supposed to be this. It's like, well, no, because this guy is a lefty or righty. Now it becomes something else, and you go to here.
Right.
I just kind of lose it at that point
Yeah.
there, where it's just like I start to just gloss over. My eyes gloss over, and it's
Tell me
just
it's a possible
it-
home run, and the guy robbed you of a
Right,
home
or
run.
right,
Yeah,
or
Or
it's a
maybe
long deep
created
fly ball that's at the
yeah,
track, right? Not like
exactly.
if all of a sudden it became a bunt.
Yeah, if
You
it
know,
goes from a home run to a
Right,
double
exactly.
or to an out, just make it believable. But
Right.
don't get
Right.
me excited about a result that's not even close to what
Right.
it is. Because I don't know about you guys, when I play these games, no matter what game it is, I start visualizing the play.
100%.
Okay, when the hit comes in on baseball, I start visualizing where the ball goes. In hockey, I have the puck. I visualize this guy shooting or trying to get a pass and shooting. Football,
Mhm.
here's the pass to this guy,
Right.
and I need to be able to visualize that play to completion, and not be like have something completely different happen.
Yeah. Like
And
Joe said, go from a home run. Wait, that was a bunt. That
yeah, I
just
mean,
makes no
again, even
sense
if
to
it's
me.
a foul ball, okay, it tailed off.
Yes.
If it's
Yes.
an out, it died in the wind. I mean,
right.
Yes.
all that stuff happened, and
The
that's
center fielder
all.
jumped up and robbed the home run. Okay.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but anything that it just some of that that's sometimes a deal breaker with me is when things just don't appear
Good
what
point.
they're supposed to be, and I don't mind a little bit of a change, but again, make it kind of believable, make it easy.
You're
Yes.
visualizing, like
Yeah,
you
don't
said.
Good
don't
point.
make me have to keep stopping and trying
Yeah.
to figure out what's going on up on a play. So yeah.
You
So,
talk
so
about visualizing, and it just came to my head. In all the games I play, I visualize, and most of them do a good job of the flow of visualizing. But
Mhm.
when I played at 49 hockey, into defensive zone, into the neutral zone, into the
Yeah.
offensive zone, you really could visualize like the pass being made out of the neutral zone into the circle.
yeah, you want to follow the play, and
Yeah,
Yep.
when
And it has to make sense.
yeah,
right.
again, that's the big thing, making sense. And I talked
Yep.
about the other night is like, can you live with it? Is this something you can live with? And everybody's threshold for what they can live with is different depending on the game and what's going on. And is it something that do you think this would happen, or can you create a scenario where this did happen? And I talk about my triple plays that I got in the Appa Master game, and some people are like, well, that would never ever happen. And it's like, well, in my mind,
It could happen.
I can see that scenario happen.
Right.
Okay, it wasn't a crazy triple play. It wasn't it was but I mean, I can see how that would happen if someone got a late jump
Poor
or
base running, right.
poor base running. They hesitated. They didn't know what they were going to do. That last minute they decided to go. I mean, as long as it makes sense to me, it's fine. So, anyway, so we want to know from you when you tune in and listen to the show. What are some of the boxes that you need checked in a game?
Yeah.
And what are some of the deal breakers that you have in a
Yeah.
game? And again, if a game was coming out, a brand new game was coming out, what are some of the boxes that you definitely need checked in this new game for you to even consider playing it? So that might be the good way to do it is a brand new game comes out, pick your sport, what's got to be in it for you to even look at that game and check it out. So that's and what is something that's going to prevent you from playing that new game too. So
And you know what, people, like when Dave signs off like this, I've thought about this a lot. We have the Facebook group. I know a lot of you don't use Facebook, but those that
Should.
do, pour some questions in there. Pour
Yeah.
your answers in there. It makes for great topics. We're not always going to, we're on maybe twice a week, and we could pick up the conversation there, which is,
Yep.
it's just always
Yep.
fun to continue talking about it. So don't be shy to
yeah.
carry it over.
Yeah, or reply on YouTube. Put it after the fact. Put in the comments after the fact, or even send us an email in too, and we can talk about that as well. So the idea is, we want to have a discussion
With
here.
a check, right? With a check. Oh no, you don't want to check the email. No, never mind.
And could I add one thing, Dave, before you sign off? For
Sure.
those some people that came on late, maybe you want to go over like real quick again about the D to D, where the numbers are at right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so where we are right now, we have 75 tickets for Digital to DiceCon 2026, which is in Preston, Connecticut, on May, well, we'll call it the 14th to the 16th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's right across from the Foxwood Casino, same place it was last year. We only have 75 tickets available right now to sell. Okay, we're capping it 75. Last year, I think we had between 65 and 70 last year. And we had some people cancel last minute, and a lot of people said they wanted to go. So we're expecting over 75 this year. But make sure you get your tickets now. The early bird price is $75 for the entire weekend, Thursday through Sunday, or however long you stay. That's for the convention. And
Yeah.
again, Mike's planning on doing the grab bags and all that other stuff again. And we'll have raffles, and we'll do it up like we did last year. Mike Ganastrari did a fantastic job setting all that up down there.
Yep.
If you want to stay at the hotel, again, digitaltodicecon.com is the website. DigitalToDiceCon, CON.com is the website, and that'll get you the link to the hotel. If you want to stay at the hotel, you need the code DICE, DICE. If you don't put in the code DICE, you'll get error messages.
Yeah,
So put in
because
the
you
code.
can't
You
even
won't get your
tell me no,
discount.
and
Yeah,
you
you
can't
won't.
even tell me Dave Gardner or Joe Cards. That's
Yeah,
not going to fly.
but not only will you not get the discount, you probably won't even be able
Right.
to book it at this
Right.
point here. So it's under that
Right.
special code DICE.
Yes.
So even if you call, use that code DICE. Tell them you're coming up with the gaming group. They know who we are. And so I'm going to probably call. I like to call when I do these
Don't
things.
tell them you know Vinny.
Yeah, I won't. And again, if you
Well,
need,
you
if
get
you
thrown out.
you don't have to stay there. There's plenty of other hotels in the area that could be a little bit cheaper. So if that's the route you want to go, that's fine too. We had a lot of people that did that last year. If you're looking for roommates, let some people know. Post it on Facebook. Let us know. Send us an email, because some people won't mind splitting the rooms and splitting that cost in half. And so that's something we can look at too, if you'd like to do that. So yeah, definitely get that in. Again, code DICE. That's what you want to do, and get those tickets in right now. It's through Mike Canastrari. We're doing Venmo and PayPal and personal check. So if you don't have PayPal or Venmo, and you want to do a personal check, get a hold of us, and we'll tell you we can send that to Mike as well. We're hoping to do credit card shortly. I know a lot of people don't have the other things; they want to do credit card. The problem with the credit card is all the fees and things. It cost us hundreds of dollars last year in fees that we're trying to keep with the convention and not have to give it away to Matt.
It takes away what you could put into the convention.
Exactly. Yeah, we want to keep it with us and not send it to MasterCard and Visa. So at some point, if you're stuck with a credit card and that's the only thing you can do, get a hold of us and we'll try to make it work for you. But we're trying to avoid all those fees again. And another reminder on Black Friday, the Black Friday show coming up here. I think we said it was November 23rd, which is a
Yes.
Sunday. So if you are a vendor or a game creator or you're selling anything, even if you're selling those scoreboards that we see that are fantastic, the Al Wilson scoreboards and the Victor Wenzel scoreboards, get a hold of us with whatever you're going to put on sale, and we will let everybody know on Black Friday. It's our biggest show of the year. It's free advertising for you. So get that in as soon as you can. Before we go, we do want to get to the stars of the week, though. So we have some 3 stars of the week, and these are the people who support us on Patreon. And we want to thank you so much. In no particular order here, in episode 288, our 3rd star is Phoenix Knight. Thank you so much. I love his channel. He's always showing off games on his channel, and it's fun to watch him. It's fun to watch him he gets excited when he plays new games, and it's fun to watch that excitement on his channel. So Phoenix Knight, go check out Phoenix Knight on YouTube. And I think it's Knight with a K. I think it's Knight with a K. And number 2 star, Andrew RW. Andrew,
thank you
so much, Andrew. Appreciate that so much. And number 1 star here in episode 288, Noble Percy. Noble. I chat with him sometimes on the Dice line. So thank you so much. And
that's a new name.
Everybody that come in here and helps us out either on the YouTube channel or on our Patreon. It's a key as we are in year 7. Holy cow, 288 episodes. Who would have thought? And we just keep going and going and going. Ways to get a hold of us. digitaltodice.com is the website, digitaltodice.com. 978-751-DICE is the text line. digitaltodice@yahoo.com is the email. And over on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/digitaltodice. Well, that was a long show. We had a lot to talk about. A lot of people in the chat here live with us had some of their things that they like to see in games, as we talked about our own. And any final thoughts before we sign off, gentlemen?
I
think
good.
this was
We covered
wonderful.
it.
Again, I'd like to
Yeah.
see people, carry this episode into chats online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
you get
it's
the
always
Digital to
fun.
Dice group, my group, Cards and Dice Sports Board Games. And again, if you're welcome to post on there if you're coming to the convention and you're looking for a roommate, on either one, on either page.
Yeah. That's
And,
the other thing too. Don't be
yeah.
afraid to reach out to people. Like Dave said, maybe you can partner up with people. And there's Chris. Chris, you and I will be talking, I'm sure.
And all the stuff
it
we're
out.
talking about here too, that helps the game developers. When they hear what people are looking for, that absolutely is going to
Yeah.
help them figure what they want to do with their games. Whether they're creating a new one or they have one here, they like to hear what people like. So
Yep.
that is everything here for Vinny and Joe. I am Dave. Thanks for tuning into the Digital to Dice podcast. Until next time, have a great day, everyone.
Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Good night. God bless.